Welcome on this Meet the Team. I am joined by Audrey Bastian. So, welcome, Audrey. Where do you join us from?
Currently in Seattle as of a few days ago.
Okay. People might start noticing there's a fair few people around there.
Yeah.
But not everybody, not everybody. And what do you do at Chronosphere? What's your job title, or what do you do if you consider those two different things?
Sure. So I'm a UX designer, one of two currently, but our
Hmm.
team is hopefully growing rapidly. So that means that I'm designing the product to make it as usable as possible for everyone, whether you are just a team member or a manager or, an executive. And right now I'm on the info model team. I don't
Okay.
know if you want me to describe that.
I think we might cover that in a later question. So let's
Okay.
come back to that. What were some of the reasons you decided to join Chronosphere? Anything that motivated you in particular?
Yeah, a couple of things. I think that my past experience was mostly working in stuff that wasn't as technically challenging. And so when I
Hmm.
was looking for my next role, I was looking for something that was super technical and kind of hard. I
Hmm.
think that stuff that's challenging just makes the day go faster. And I'm constant, like every day I learn something new here. And it's really fun to like make those connections. Like I get so much pride and joy when I'm like, this connects to this. And I'm able to like piece it all together. So that's obviously a lot of fun. And then also my sister works here, Eleanor.
Yeah.
She's the engineering manager. And I feel like we've both been in tech for so long and always thought it would be cool if we worked at the same company. So this has been a really great opportunity and a lot of fun for us. Yeah. The
Well,
Chronos sisters. That's what we call ourselves.
yeah, I don't know whether we should go further down that path or not. Maybe we'll see if it comes up again. Um, so you mentioned you want to do something more technical. I might actually come back to that in a second. But so what were you doing before coming to Chronosphere?
Yeah, so I've had a couple different positions. The one most recently was working in media.
Hmm.
And so I was kind of designing like how someone might program different TV shows to go onto the air.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
yeah, it was cool. I worked in healthcare for a little bit, designing different products for health applications, and then also at Microsoft.
Hmm.
And prior to all of that, I taught eighth grade science on the south side of Chicago. So
Wow.
big
Okay.
career switch.
So there's a few. Yeah. Firstly, I was particularly interested in the scheduling because I actually have a friend who does scheduling for Australian TV. So, so I
Yeah,
don't know, maybe he's used whatever you
I
were
it was
working
like an
on. I'm not sure.
internal product. I think only
Okay.
that particular network uses it.
Okay. Yeah,
Wasn't a great
and he's
product.
working for like Australian local TV, so it's pretty niche
Yeah,
in
I
its
don't
own
think I
way.
don't think it's made its way.
Okay, and eighth grade science classes. Eighth grade is like
You're like 14, right before
that
high school.
that must have been a challenge.
Very challenging.
Okay.
Yeah, I taught at some kind of like alternative schools,
Okay.
so kids that didn't really fit in a normal school setting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it definitely has a lot of challenges. Yeah.
Okay. Any particular subject, or was it general science at that kind of age?
Um, it depended on the school I worked at. One of
Yeah.
them was more like chemistry and physics,
Okay.
and one was more general. A lot of these kids were kind of at a lower level of science,
Mm.
like elementary school. So the goal was really to bring them up to like a middle school, high school level so that they were prepared to enter high
Yeah.
school the next year.
Did
Yeah.
you bring any of that experience into UX work?
It's kind of weird. I do think that there
Yeah.
is a parallel because, like, in thinking like a user, you really have to think at the most simple level and the basic level and really put together your design so it's like easy to follow, step by step,
Yep.
everyone can understand. And that's obviously the same for teaching. I don't have to
Yep.
make a PowerPoint every day, but it is kind of similar.
I mean, I'm surprised to hear that teachers are even using PowerPoint. It was a long time ago since I went to school. So.
It's been a few years since I've taught.
Maybe like acetate sheets was about as technical as they got in my school at that age. Anyway, yes. So I think this is where we're looping back to maybe where you were getting to. What is the most interesting technical challenge Chronosphere is solving right now, do you think, or you're helping solve?
Sure. I think the most interesting technical challenge that I face is just how do you scale a product to fit so many different companies? We have
Hmm.
companies that are massive and have thousands of employees and some that are much smaller. And so, how do you create a product that's intuitive for all of these different users and make sure that everyone understands all the things that the product does and is able to like turn on the features that they need or ignore the features that they don't? How do we make a product that works for all groups? That's definitely been a big challenge.
Yeah, that's come up a couple of times actually. You're not the first
Oh
person to
yeah.
mention that, so that's interesting to hear. I don't know if you've worked with the same person. I'm not sure. Anyway, all right.
The US team is
So
so small. I feel like I've
yeah,
worked
no,
with
exactly. But
everyone.
obviously, both of us are in roles where you have touch points with lots of people, so
Right.
you end up getting little tidbits from here, there, and everywhere. Okay, we started talking about this. I think it's a new kind of team association, I think we should say, because I guess you probably take part in many different teams. But what are you working on right now that you're excited about?
Yeah, well, Info Model is the new team. So it's very small right now.
Hmm.
It's just like a couple of us. And Info Model is essentially how do we restructure the product to better
Hmm.
match our users' environments. So
Hmm.
our users tend to think of themselves as teams. So how do we make our
Yep.
product like more team friendly
Yeah.
so that when you log into the product, you're only really seeing the things that you need to see. You can access other things, but you only need to see the stuff that's like pertinent to you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the new challenge I'm tackling.
Okay.
Very much like architecture and where does everything fit in and how do permissions work? It's a lot.
Are you looking at any kind of other comparable products or anything like that to draw some inspiration, or
We're
starting
still
from a
very much in the
fresh?
early stages.
Okay.
So I think we're still kind of narrowing down exactly how we want it to look and feel, what pieces need to be included. Um, but yeah, still very, very much in like the research early decision phases. Yeah.
Okay. And what were you working on before? What aspect of the product were you working on before this team?
Sure. So I was on the foundations team and was kind of working on a project that leads into this. So
Okay.
users and teams,
Yep.
how do users access the system? How do you set up a team? And now we're getting into what does the team see once it's set up?
Yep.
So kind of working in the same realm.
Yep. Cool. Cool. All right. Now that's the serious questions out the way. That's the work
Oh,
questions
good.
out the way. So now we get to the fun questions.
Okay.
You've already possibly revealed one or two that could have answered this question, but what's a fun fact about you that nobody would guess?
Hmm. I think, okay, so this one's kind of weird, but I think I'm like oddly strong for how small I am. I'm not
Okay.
very tall, but I recently won like an all city like fitness competition, which I'm
Uh-huh.
very proud of, obviously. But I'm like oddly strong for how small I am. Yeah.
Okay. I guess that is a hard one to guess without witnessing. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess we never see each other in person. It's always via Zoom, so no one would know.
Yeah. My main thing is always, oh, that person's taller than I thought. Oh, that person's
Yeah,
shorter than I
exactly.
thought.
To me, everyone's like 5'6". Everyone's the same height.
I don't know if you're this kind of person, but ignoring any company related ones, if you have any stickers on your laptop, what do you have?
Oh, good question. I actually don't. I used to when I was a
Yep.
teacher. I was like obsessed with stickers and I had
Huh.
stickers all over my water bottle. I didn't put them
Yep.
on my laptop, but one time my student dropped my water bottle and it like bent in a way that I couldn't use it anymore. And I was devastated because I had taken so much time to like collect and like
Yep.
stick each one in a nice way. So now I'm like, I can't do it again. I get too attached. So no more stickers.
So I don't have any stickers on my current laptop. It's the first time in quite some time I haven't done it for some reason. But my wife has my old laptop, and there's several stickers on there that I was like, okay, before you have it, I want to get those stickers off. But I haven't actually
You
done
don't
anything with them.
understand.
I took them off of the laptop I gave her, but I haven't done anything with them yet. They're still just sat there. So, I don't know. For some reason, I'm kind of enjoying the pristine look at the moment. But
Right. Yeah.
maybe at some point soon. I don't know. I have to think about it.
You just have to make sure, they all look aesthetically pleasing. It's so much work.
Well, they kind of are. One is Seattle related. I actually got given
Oh.
I met a Microsoft engineer from European offices, and they secretly, a whole bunch of Microsoft employees secretly made Clippy stickers. And they gave me one, and
okay, this is another fun fact. I've gotten to wear the Clippy suit once. I got to, it's in like the Microsoft archives, and I got to wear it once.
I did not know there was such a thing, but I've also done that job in the past. So anyway, that's something, not as Clippy, but as something else, but that was a long time ago. Anyway, apart from Clippy, if you were an animal, what would you be?
I don't know. Clippy's such a good one. This seems so basic, but I feel like I'd be like a dog. Like I'm easily excited about stuff. I'm pretty much always in a good mood and pretty happy. I like being around people, which I think is true for most dogs. So maybe a dog, like a puppy, something that likes to play.
A Labrador puppy, then, I reckon.
Yeah.
Labradors always just seem to be, I don't know where they get done.
Yeah.
All ages, just like, hello. So,
hang out with me. That's kind of like me, yeah.
Nice. Okay. And in your career or your life and that varied career pathway, who is someone you've considered a role model, and how have they helped guide you?
Sure. Well, I hope this is true for most people, but definitely my parents. I think from an early age, they taught my sister and I about like perseverance and how to be confident and work hard and grit. And they also exposed us to so many opportunities at a young age that I'm really appreciative of. But more recently, I also think of my sister as a role model now. It's been so interesting working with her and seeing kind of this new perspective where she's not just my younger sister anymore. She's actually like, she has a career and is respected by her peers. And it's fun to see her just really own her job and do so well. Yeah.
Well, I think you're unique in these interviews to be the only person who shares someone who they consider a role model. And I'll let you guess who that might have been. And it's probably fairly obvious. And if this is all a bit too inside baseball, then I recommend people go and watch the other videos in this series to understand what we're talking about. I don't know which one will come out first, but so yes.
I guess you have to pick the better Bastian. Yeah.
We won't take votes. That might get controversial. And it may be from them or maybe from someone else, but what's a quote that you often reflect on or that you mention to people a lot that motivates you?
It's one that my mom said ever since Eleanor and I were so young. And it's from Eleanor Roosevelt that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And I feel like my mom just told us that forever. And, you know, as a young kid, it definitely was true. Like when you aren't wearing the coolest clothes or you just don't feel as cool, like it was true that like, no, I'm always like, as long as I'm confident in myself, nothing else matters. And now as I've grown older, it's also true. Like I did this big career change. And so sometimes I don't necessarily feel like I'm the best UX designer or that I know the most. But again, it's true. As long as that I'm confident in myself and as long as I put in my best effort, I can always do the best job. Yeah.
Fantastic. I love ending on these quotes. They're always a nice point to end on. So yeah, Audrey, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. This was so fun.